Dollars and cents. What's the cost? Episode 1. Let's go to work. Life throws us so much, especially in this quest of trying and attempting to find God and peace within God. And in the midst of doing so, after following so much of life's traditions and customs, some of us have come to a crossroad and we begin to ask questions that no man is willing to answer. So I came up with something called dollars and cents. You can spell the word cents any way you want to. But how much does it cost to keep you out of hell? And how much are we willing to pay to get into heaven? It's a rhetorical question, but the answer is also in the book that we call a Bible that most people won't read. It's in there. But we'll spend every dime in attempts to purchase things that we cannot afford. But naked, we came into this world, and naked shall we return. I'm going to take a serious pause, and I pray that everybody truly let this sink in. If naked we came, and naked we shall return, then the cost has to be something other than monetarily. For anybody who's starting to panic that may be on the other side, don't worry about it. I'm not after your dollars. I'm just trying to make some sense. Of course, we can't take it with us when we go. It's impossible. It wasn't designed for us to take it with us. But nor was it designed for us to give it all away. It was strategically written, and there was a stamp and a requirement and a standard left that you should leave your children and your children's children with something that you did not have. But we end up lacking the understanding, and we end up giving it all away in attempts of a place that we've read about. But if you read about it, you would have experienced it already. You don't have to die to get it. Again, I am not concerned with your dollars. I'm just trying to make some sense. If we continue doing this, our children will eventually realize that at some point in their lives that we make absolutely 0 sense, whether it's money or whether it's in the mind. And the real cost, they will see that we're wasting money to never understand the real cost, and we will leave them just as naked in an environment, in a world that's already conditioned to devour them. Let that sink in. But what does it cost? Again, I don't care about your dollars. I'm just making sense. Can I have a little something on my building fund? You know, I'm going to build something. So it ain't going to take me 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years. I'm trying to make sense. But if I get a few dollars, the cents will matter. What's the cost? If you've stayed to the end of this one, spiritual poetry. If you've stayed to the end of this one, to be honest with you, we have wasted more time, energy, and effort repeating the exact same cycles over and over again, where this generation is not buying any of it. They're not going to pay for it. They're not buying it. You'll be the last generation of nonsense they will ever see. But we're not teaching them anything new because there's a disconnect. And they have better things to do with their dollars. And they have better things to do with their cents, even though they haven't been taught to invest properly. They just know where they see yours going at makes 0 sense. This is a tough one. Food for thought. You cannot buy your way into heaven, just like you can't pay your way out of hell. The one that they tell us about, you cannot afford it. So what's the true cost? I may cover that in a later video. But keep paying for it. If you open your eyes, you will see what you've already paid for and what you're going to continue to get in the next months, years, and decades. What's the cost? Are your children buying it? How much more are we willing to pay for this? The word itself is good enough. We know this if we paid attention and want to make sense of it instead of paying for it and losing all of our senses. I'm not after your dollars. I'm going to make sense.